Welcome back, Bravehearts, to the Doc of Detox show. This is DocStar TV, and I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf. Now, before we start into it, I just want to talk about something. Where did all the logic go? Where did all the basic foundation of eating and treating ourselves with logic, okay? First of all, has anybody noticed that without us knowing it, they made our life into a buffet? Okay, we have too many choices with everything, okay? Too many distractions with everything. If you're not going to actually be mindful, and that would be your mind full of beliefs that care and love you and protect you and respect you, then you're going down. And you're going down like a rocket ship. And it's going to go down really hard. I mean, their whole planning over 250 years is right here. But what they did is they kept on poisoning us a little bit more, taking away our nutrition. And then if you do it gradually, you make people actually believe that this is as good as it gets. You know, from taking out the fulvic and the humic out of our soil and then putting in all kinds of chemicals in the soil so that we don't have the bugs that we need in the soil. Okay, we don't have the nutrients in the soil. Because if you didn't have the nutrients in the soil, then you're not going to have the nutrients in your food, which means you're not going to have the nutrients in your body. So the reality is, we are now having to replace nature. We are now having to replace nature. And they want you to go so far from nature that you can't even find your way back. Okay, that hugging a tree is so crazy. That sitting by a river, sitting by a brook, okay, climbing a mountain is just out of your goals. You know, I mean, how many people know that the elite have actually, how many people know that the elite have actually carved off 1/3 of the planet for themselves? And if everything goes to their way, you won't be able to travel into certain areas because of climate change and animals becoming extinct, and we're one of the main animals that are coming extinct. There you go. But they've carved off 1/3 of the planet for themselves. So the reality is that it's the craziest thing. They poison our minds, they poison the water, they poison the food. They're the ones that are actually causing the pollution and all the corruption, and then they blame it on us. And because you can program a human being to become a human doing, that we get all this guilt and all this shame, and then we yell at our kids to recycle, and then does it even get recycled? No, it doesn't. Go down to your recycling and find out. The whole thing is just a charade, okay? I mean, come on. What is there? There's an island the size of Texas that's made out of plastic bottles in the ocean. Seriously, okay? And who makes the plastic? Did we demand the plastic? No, they did it. Because they needed the plastic, because when you drink out of a plastic bottle, you're drinking carcinogens. That's what you're doing. And also, you're just drinking tap water that went through a filter and it's got a really lovely name on it. Oh, but I get my water from Fiji. Yes, why don't you get it from Mars? Maybe it'll even taste better. Oh, wait a minute, there's no water in Mars. Oh, there you go. I mean, we will just believe anything. So here we go. No nutrition left in the soil. There's no humic and fulvic. That's why our black diamond and our black gold and our fulvic concentrate and humic concentrate is one of the biggest sellers around the world. Okay? Because it brings in those micronutrients that are millions of years old that the dinosaurs ate. And guess what? That means the vibration on them comes from millions of years ago. And that's why people heal so fast. That's why our C60, it's the purest C60, the most powerful in the world, will actually reverse brain damage. It will reverse neurological diseases. It will reverse, okay, things that happen with the V and things that happen with the C. And don't believe me, but the reality is that they're touting MCT C60 and hemp C60 right now as being the main thing to help to restore the human body on all levels. So, but let's get back to basics. Can we do that? Can we get back to basics for a second? So now we've depleted the soils. We didn't, they did. Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. Okay. Did we put the chemical fertilizers in there? Okay. Okay, let me tell you something. You know Peter Webb? And Peter Webb makes these crystals. Okay, this is called a bodyguard. He also makes what's called a protector. He also makes a defender, one that could be in a 5,000 square foot building, okay, up to a 50,000 square foot building, to protect you against EMF and all of those other frequencies that are not good for us. So he talked about when he was a child, you know, it would be the horses plowing, and he said the plow would just go right through. And then what happened is because of the chemical fertilizers that his father was using, then he couldn't use horses. Then they had to go and buy a tractor. And then after a few years, they found out that the chemical fertilizers were turning the soil into cement. And because also the bugs weren't there anymore, and the humic and the fulvic wasn't there anymore. So now it's cement, and he said you couldn't even get the plow through. And that's the problem. You know, even the biggest powerful tractors are breaking down now because of what we've done to the soil. So, you know, we know that this game has gone at least 5 times. We know that the human race has ended itself 5 times, and well, actually 4 times. We're on our 5th time now. And the reality is we don't totally end off ourselves, but it's what these psycho-elite work for this evil entity that harvest humans to bring it all back down and restart the program again. I guess I don't really know. I haven't figured that part out yet. But we do know that the psycho-elite, okay, because of greed and power, they have no problem coming after other human beings. So the reality is that we're going down fast. Okay, we know that we've got fluoride, chlorine in the water. We shower in it, we drink it. Okay, we'll actually drink, like I said, water out of plastic bottles. The thing is, we'll eat all kinds of new and improved foods that don't have anything in them except GMOs and chemicals. You know, there wouldn't be so many drive-thrus if people weren't driving through. But what people don't get is, and they really don't get this, they actually think that all these drive-thrus are there because they're all making profit. Understand they're not. These corporations are actually tied in with the pharmaceutical companies. So here's the deal. Well, we can sell this food cheaper in the drive-thrus, and yes, we're going to lose money on this, this, and this. But the reality is we know that if everybody goes to McDonald's and Burger King and if they eat even health food, junk food, eventually they're going to have so much infection, they're going to have so much pain that they're going to have to take drugs. And we know that, you know, the bottle that drugs usually go into is more expensive than the drugs that are in it. So the reality is now, see the whole game? So it's like, and all of this that's done, and all these corporations that work together, corporation to create the infection, to create the inflammation, to create the mutation, okay? All right. And then there's the devastation because we're now at what we call the human harvest. But what can we do as a family? What can you do yourself? Well, first of all, you want to buy locally. You want to buy whole plant-based foods, whether it be lentils, whether it be beans, whether it be fresh fruit, vegetables, or frozen organic fruit, things of that nature. So you really got to think about this, you know. And if you're going to eat animal products, who raised the animal products? Was it factory farmed? Because now you know they're full of chemicals and they've been tortured. And you know, when you torture an animal, the animal actually releases adrenaline and cortisol and histamines. That's why the meat is so messed up. Okay, just think about the vibration in that meat. So you take on the vibration of that animal before it gave up its life and its whole life. So, you know, if it's factory farming, then we know that it's corporation. And if we know if it's corporation, we know the animal's been tortured and had to suffer. And then you eat the animal, you eat the suffering. So you have to suffer too. You know, where did we go wrong? We went wrong when we stopped making our own gardens. And we went wrong by thinking that animal protein, eating dead animals, was going to make us healthier. I mean, how many dead animals does it take to eat, even if it's free range and organic, to make you healthy and alive? You know, most people don't have the capabilities of actually digesting dead animals, carcass. Okay, and the reality is the body needs amino acids, not protein. And then the reality is because they made our life into a buffet, everybody wants to eat everything at every meal. You don't food combine properly because you should never mix a starch with a protein. Okay, you should never eat 2 proteins at a meal, but you could eat 2 starches at a meal. You know, you should always have a vegetable and a starch together at a meal. You can have 2 vegetables even or with a starch at a meal. You could have 2 different vegetables, like you could have a salad, steamed vegetables, and let's say some rice. And that would be enough if you just ate more of that food. And the reality is if you are eating not to be full, but to feed yourself, and most people don't know how to feed themselves. So you can believe this or not, but you can't find one person that can tell you that works for me that has ever seen me eat anything during the day. I do not eat anything every day. Every day I do not eat one meal. I eat a meal at night. Every night I eat a meal. Last night I had red snapper. Okay, I had large salad and steamed vegetables. Tonight I'm just going to have black bean soup, okay, and a salad. Okay, and I only eat one meal a day. Now you're going, okay, well, how does he eat one meal a day? Well, I do take the nutraceuticals that I sell you, and they're high vibrational. And understand something. Everything you eat leaves the body. All the physical matter of what you drink and what you eat leaves the body. And the only thing that stays behind is the light and the frequency. That's it. So, but what if also throughout my day, I don't get emotionally attached to people that are emotional? What if I don't get emotionally attached to people that are ripping me off, or people that are upset with me, people that don't like me, they disapprove of me? What if I was not emotionally attached to that? How much energy would I save? What if I only focused on the people that wanted to become the light for themselves and then for their families? What if I didn't focus on the people that, you know, they didn't realize that they had all this anger, but that's what they do. They just live with it because they're having a 24-hour-a-day tantrum, because that's why we're angry. And then people hate themselves or they hate somebody for doing something. It's all about taking responsibility. And it's not your fault, but you gave up responsibility for, you know, how you react. Because most people just attack. They don't know how to take personal action, in which connecting to your breath and staying calm would be really cool, but we're not going to do that because we don't know that we are run by our subconscious, and we don't realize that the beliefs in our subconscious run us. That's why we'll go and eat donuts, or, you know, I was talking this morning about how I had a patient and she was from Miami. And we did everything for her. She had MS. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And we worked with her for 3 months. And I see, it's not that she's a liar, but she wouldn't tell the truth until her husband called me and said, you got to help me here. Okay? She didn't give up the Coke. She drinks 2 liters of Coke every day. And that was her biggest addiction, because Coke is the devil's poison. And it really is. All pop is the devil's poison, but it's Coke and Pepsi, these are really bad. So anyways, she stopped, and with all the things that we did, you know, she could almost get herself out of the wheelchair. But as soon as she stopped drinking the Coke, bam, 5 days later, she's out, and everything else is working. So see, there was a signal frequency in the Coke that was blocking that last domino to fall to give her back her life. So what are you going to do? Are you going to be a Braveheart and say that our home is now a love health zone, which means that, guess what? We are going to come from unconditional love, and nothing's coming in the house unless we ask ourselves, will this, okay, bring our vibration up? Will this cleanse us? Will this feed us? Not fill us, will this feed us? And then the other thing is are we going to teach some rules about food combining? And then are we also going to get mom and dad to stop talking to the children about what's wrong with the children at the meal so that nobody digests their food? How about, what if we were to come from a place of total unconditional love for each other? And you know what, even if the person you felt like they hurt you, you went and you sat down with all the love in your heart and you said, why did you do that? And do you think you'll do it again? And do you think I deserved it? Or what did I do to piss you off? Okay, why did you break that? Why did you steal that? Why did you swear at me? Why did you do this? Why can't you clean your room? What is it that stops you from cleaning your room? Is it because that you feel that I'm trying to overpower you? Is that it? You know, why can't we learn to talk to each other with unconditional love. Why do we have to try to control each other? Well, because we're all out of control. We're all out of control. We're out of control with our thinking, our eating, our drinking, you know, and we better get it back. And that is going to be the big issue, okay, is bringing ourselves back, pulling ourselves back, calming ourselves down. And that's the biggest thing that I'm talking about now with all my staff, is because we have to prepare for what the psycho elite have prepared for 250 years or more. And, you know, the Super Bowl starts in October, so maybe even September for some countries. And then this is their big play here, because they won't get away with it again. They've got to come hard right now, and, you know, and they're just going to keep on coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. So start working on yourself. Start really focusing and observing the way you think, drink, and eat and react, okay, to everything around you. That's going to be really big, okay? So somebody's asking here. Yes, I will. I'll go over that. Just so you know, I will be, okay, they want to know about trainings. All right, so we're going to answer some questions right now. So if you've got questions, you can be on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube and bring your questions up if you want. I'm going to be talking to Lucy in a couple of minutes. Lucy's calling from overseas, so I got to let her get to bed pretty soon. And we're going to be talking. She has really severe migraines, and I said I would do that online today. Okay? So everybody, just so you know, yes, our biggest sale of the year is on. We don't run this sale but twice a year. Okay? That's how big this sale is. Twice a year we do it. So it'll be running for the next few days. I don't know when, somebody asked, no, I don't know when they're going to cut it off. We sell so much and then the sale's over. So I can check. I'll be back here again tomorrow. What time tomorrow are we doing the Q&A for people again? What?
5.
What time?
5 p.m.
You will close like an will be at 1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Okay, so 1 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be doing another live Q&A if you want to come on or tell people. And then on Thursday, I will be doing a live Q&A for people on certifications, if they want to come and take our certifications, online trainings, personal one-on-one trainings, healing trainings, protocols, or just treatments. Okay, now, yes, there's another question. Yes, on the 20th, which is I think Wednesday, yes, you can fly out of Canada without a vaccine. And somebody said, well, you can't fly back in. They cannot force you to take a vaccine to come into your own country. Just so you know, that's not true. Oh yeah, but you could get an $8,000 fine. It'll never go to court. It'll never go to court. It's not law. It's just a rule they made up. They cannot make you pay that fine. Trust me, you'll never pay it. But whatever, you need to believe whatever you need to believe. Listen, the fear-mongering stuff doesn't work with me. There's no authority over me. I don't care what they say. If it sounds like BS, it is. That's a dysfunctional belief system, everyone. Okay, so let's go over the dates that we have courses coming. Our last course here until September is June the 27th. Can you please bring that back? Please do not change it until I ask. June the 27th till July the 5th is the Whole Life Coach certification. And you do not have to be a practitioner to do this. Just know that 30 to 40% of all the people that take my Whole Life Coach course, they're just coming here to learn what the best nutraceuticals, how to detoxify the body, okay, how to emotionally grab onto their own brains and then become the light for their family. We have, in this course, we have 5 nurses in this course that's going on right now. We're doing a course right now, and they're doing the Wolf non-surgical part. We have 5 nurses in that course. 1 dental nurse, and we have 4 nurses, and we are actually going to be doing a show with them a week from Wednesday at 12 o'clock, and they're going to be talking about what they saw in the hospitals they worked in and what they learned in just 22 days. Okay, and they're going to talk from their heart, and you're going to find out that we do have, in the New World Practitioner course, we have the most powerful course in 22 days, and we will teach more strategies, techniques that really work than any other course out there. And I don't mind being challenged on that, because why would you believe it? Sounds crazy to me. So Whole Life Coach is from June 27th to July 5th. Wolf Non-Surgical is from July 8th to July 19th. And this is the most powerful body work. I promise you that if you have a knee problem, a hip problem, a spine problem, scoliosis, ankle problem, if you have even a heart problem, you tell me what you got. You got adhesions, you've got scar tissue from surgery, if you've got a fibroid, we're going to show you that we can do what you're going to think are miracles, but these will be everyday events when you learn how to do our protocols. Or if you're coming here for treatments, call me at extension 5, or if you want more information on courses, 855-900-4544 extension 5, and go ahead, challenge me, quiz me. I'm not going to make false claims, false promises. We don't cure people. What we do is we help the body to come back into alignment. It looks after that. And if you know how to stay into alignment, then you're not going to ever get sick again with any disease. And that's the bottom line, because disease means you're basically out of alignment. And that's what they want you, because we are at the human harvest for this century. All right. So in Texas, I will be going to McKinney, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas. And I will be there for the Whole Life Coach from August the 25th to September the 2nd. And then we will be doing the Wolf Non-Surgical. We'll be doing that one day off, and then on the 4th, from September the 4th till September the 15th. Okay? Then the next course is going to be in Barrie, Ontario. And we did want to go to Toronto, but for the space that we wanted, because everybody wants to make up the money that they've lost, and I'm not going to go into a hotel that can tell me what to do, because Ontario, they're insane there. So I'm not going to let anybody hold a gun to my head, all right? Because who knows what Ontario is going to do. But the reality is, it was going to cost us $28,000 to rent a room to teach our course. Seriously, I kid you not. And then I still had to get my practitioners there, fly them there, feed them, pay them, and then set this up. So we're in Barrie, Ontario, which is about an hour, I guess, about an hour and 10, hour and 15 outside of Toronto. And it's a beautiful spot. And you'll see pictures up on braveheartnation.com. And you'll see places to stay, and you'll see pictures of where we're going to be teaching. And we're limited to 20. That's it. We're keeping these classes small, so there's only going to be 20. And that will be September the 24th to October the 2nd for Whole Life Coach. And then Wolf Non-Surgical in Barrie will be October 4th to October the 15th. And guess what? We are just going to get out of Dodge before monkeypox. And climate change is going to kick in, and then the whole country in Canada is going to be locked down. Wait till you see this year. They are going to come so hard. They have planned this for so long. So we figure we'll get one course in there, but everybody just know that we will be returning to Texas. We will be changing our venue, but we will be doing a course in Texas, just outside of Dallas, in that area, about every 4 months. And I can guarantee you that, because Texas is a more free state. They're going to fight back, and Canada doesn't fight back yet. So, yeah, I can't even tell you. I just, my heart goes out to Canada right now. It used to be the nation that was leading the way, and now they're pay. Let me see what else we got here. Can you scroll down, please? The next course that will be happening in Ixtapa. Okay, I don't know if we have that up here. Let me see. September 10th? Yep. September 10th to September 18th. And then that'll be the first one in Ixtapa, September 10th to September 18th for Whole Life Coach. And then Wolf Non-Surgical from September 21st to October 2nd. We're also going to be releasing this September. We're going to be doing online, unbelievably great Zoom trainings. You're going to love them. Like Pain-Free Pelvis is going to be kicked off again. We're redoing that. We're also have another one called Fit for Life. It's a 3-day training that I'm doing. And then there's another one called The Invisible Universe that I'm going to be doing with Robin. And that's for people that really want to get into the metaphysical world. And really, if they want to discover the invisible, okay? All right? And we all know the invisible creates a physical. So there'll be, that'll be a beautiful course. That'll just be a 1 day to kick off until we see what people like and how they're going to warm up to it, okay? So you can take a look. All the trainings are up there. I'm also going to be lecturing in Mexico on July 8th for the Worldwide Anti-Aging Conference, just to let you guys know. and that's going to be just with, I don't know, I think 250 doctors, all right? And I'm allowed to speak, and I'm one of the main speakers and trainers, but I'm not allowed to mention the word fibroid, and I can't mention the word tumor, and I can't mention the word cancer, okay? So it should be fun. It should be fun, but we'll get it done. Okay, why don't we bring on, oh, and the other thing is yes, go to our personal treatment and training, everyone.com, and you will see that we have 6 different personal treatment and trainings that we have our practitioners going to your clinic. We will certify you, or we will go to your home and we'll do a personal treatment and training, whether it's for a couple or a whole family. Go check it out. If you're a family that says, we're done living like this, if you're a couple that says, we're done living like this, I want it all. We'll come to you from anywhere from 5 days to 10 days, like the Pain-Free Perfect Pregnancy is a 10-day course, where we teach the partner how to go in and just do non-surgical on their partner's body when they're pregnant. But we actually, in that 10-day course, we have the most in-depth manual, how to be a parent, every which way, emotionally, nutritionally, detox, what to do when this happens, what to do when that happens. We start 1 year before the pregnancy, not that you have to come here 1 year before your pregnancy, but we start back 1 year before the pregnancy, and we do a lot of teaching in the manual, but we do 10 days of person-to-person training for those people who want it. We start 1 year before with diet, nutrition, with the parents, and then the pregnancy all the way through, and then up until the child is 2 years old. And that's what we cover in this 370-page manual. So understand something. This is not intense reading. It's just like our Perfect Day manual that you get when you do a Perfect Day consult. Listen, if this is your first time on here, get a Perfect Day consult. It's $150. We're going to do a 1-hour consultation on you, okay? We're going to send you the audio, and then you're going to get lifetime support, and we're going to give you the PDF of the Perfect Day manual, which is almost 400 pages, okay? And it will teach you how to start becoming your own practitioner. What if you could make proper decisions from the moment you rise until you close your eyes? That's what we're after. So go to Personal Treatment and Trainings, check that out. Go check out our Perfect Day Consult. At the top of the page, it says consultation, or go to our certifications page if you really want to bring on the thunder. Let's bring on Lucy, okay? Thank you. Can we bring on Zoom, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Dr. Wolf. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So here we go. So what are we doing?
So, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I've got so many health issues, but the main one that you mentioned
okay, well,
is...
let's try to, okay, here's the thing. Do you see what you just said? I have so many health issues. I want to talk about that in a second. Is there any way that you can bring on your video, or would you rather not bring on your video?
I would rather not at this point.
Okay, then don't worry about it. Okay, I know what you look like, but it always helps to know what a person looks like. Now, if I can just say this, anybody else who wants to come on Zoom, make sure, where's the Zoom link for them?
Yep. For example,
Please put it up right away. It should have been up there.
Is it only you that will see me, Dr. Wolf?
okay.
Pardon?
Is it only you that will see me if I put on my video?
No, love, other people will see you. That's okay. I know what you look like, love. Let's just, okay, so now, did you hear what you said? I have so many things going wrong with me, okay? So understand, no, you don't. What you have is you have the domino effect of incorrect information. You have the domino effect of dysfunctional beliefs about yourself, okay? And that's the God's truth. I can prove this to you, that if you don't go in and change those beliefs, you will never stay healthy. That's why we have the 2-time, 3-time breast cancer patient, or whatever cancer patient, or why it always comes back, or the symptom gets worse and it becomes a disease, and then the disease becomes another disease, but they're all the same disease, which is you're not at ease because you're out of alignment with yourself, because all of the programming happened that really made your diseases actually happen from 0 to 7. 0 years old to 7. And I can prove all that. And the reality is if people don't want to emotionally go in and work with themselves at some point in some time, they're always going to be struggling, because if you don't understand it's your belief systems that create your personality, and your personality actually creates your reality and all your diseases. I would love somebody to come on and I will do this and prove. I can prove that every disease, okay, every disease is just a symptom, and every disease is a block in the human body in a certain organ or a certain joint or a certain part of the body, and that if that person didn't have these beliefs, they wouldn't have that dis-ease in that part of their body. And that's it. So we'll take this belief, dysfunctional belief, and we'll take this dysfunctional belief and this one, and we'll put them together. And now what we have was a master key to being not at ease, out of alignment. And then depending on the vibration and the intensity of those beliefs will depend on how sick you get and how shortened your lifespan is and how much pain and suffering you have. So let's make this perfectly clear that the reason why when I was in the supplement like when I became a practitioner and we started getting supplements, I realized very quickly in the first couple of years coming out of school that supplements were not the key. The frequency, the vibration of everything you do. So the reality is that image creates thought. Thought creates what? Thought creates emotion. Okay, emotion creates what? Frequency, and it's either negative or positive, and then you're dumping chemicals and hormones that are either negative or positive. That's it. I mean, the reality is we're going to talk here in a minute, but I'm going to prove to you that you're in fight or flight and you've never come out of it and you've stayed in it, and it actually is like a survival mechanism for you. That if you totally relaxed and felt safe, then you wouldn't be ready for things when the shift hits the fan. So the reality is that is what creates the dis-ease, okay? And as you can see, the media and the psycho elite and the government and every other organization that thinks they have authority of us are doing a crackerjack job, okay? All right? And the prize is at the bottom of the box is us going insane because we actually think that they have authority over us. So now, we're going to talk, Lucy, but I just want to do this. I'm going to ask a question, and then I'd like you to just give me the answer, and then we'll go into it to a certain degree. But depending how insane that you've become to try to find the answer will depend on how in depth the story is. And that's the whole deal. We go insane. We go insane over it. And then every time that we go to somebody and they don't give us the right answer, if we go down the medical route, then you are insane. And that's why they help you. See, even the medical doctors don't even know that they're insane, and they help everyone else go insane so that they can take drugs. Okay? So we can actually program somebody if we go long enough and strong enough that they will teach people that they're insane. Okay? And that's what they do. And even natural health practitioners will do that. And the reality is because hardly anybody ever takes a look at the emotional. So what I tell people is when somebody walks through the door, you need to look at the condition they're in, not the condition they have. I will look at the condition they have because the condition they have will tell me the condition they're in. Because everything starts off in the psychological before it ever goes into the biological. Okay, so how old are you?
44.
Pardon?
44.
44 years old, and what's your weight?
Right now, about 59. It's normally around 55 kilograms.
55 kilograms, okay, so it's usually around, so it's 59, it's usually around 55, right? So that means you've got an extra 10 pounds, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's will be some fat cells, but a lot of it's usually water retention, and that's mainly around your waist, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, and that's basic. And do you know why? Because your waistline is a waist dump. Your waistline is a waist dump. Your waistline is a waist dump. And the reality is it's around your waist because you haven't been able to bring back the integrity of your good bacteria, which are 85% of the immune system for a human. And your good bacteria have turned bad, and when they're bad, you're in bad moods. That's why somebody says, I don't know why I'm depressed. I don't know why I'm angry. I don't know why I feel like this. Well, because your bacteria actually send signals And that's why they call it the gut-brain disconnection. It's not actually your gut, it's actually your bacteria. They kind of always give us a clue, but they never ever really tell us really what's going on. They never give us the key that really what's going on. So anyways, and know this, everyone, I never saw her waistline. I just know what she told me, what she weighs, and that she's 10 pounds over. Then we know that it's right here on her abdomen and a little bit on her hips. And the reality is that you have to have that extra 10 pounds, because if you didn't create those fat cells to store that inflammation and that infection, then you would have vital organs that would be storing it. And then we could call that liver inflammation, we could call it liver cirrhosis, we could call it adult onset diabetes, we could call it spleen problems, we could call it colitis. We could, so when the organs get involved, then we start getting in diseases. So what would you prefer to have? Extra fat cells, cellulite, or would you like to have where your organs are getting not disease? There's no such thing as the disease. It's just that they are becoming toxic, the cells themselves. Okay, so how tall are you?
167 centimeters.
Okay. All right, I don't know what that is in feet and inches. Can you tell me what that is, Yark? Who's listening? Can you say what that is again?
I'll work it out.
Okay, I need to know what is it, 167 centimeters? Can you just tell me how tall is 167 centimeters? Just ask your phone. Siri can tell you. All right, whenever you can do that. Okay, so you're 10 pounds overweight. So let's now talk about your symptoms, okay?
So since I was a child, I've suffered from migraines, which have just got more and more chronic, and they're constant now. I take painkillers every day.
Okay.
For the last 20 years, you name it, I've tried it, and no one can find a cure.
And I'm going to tell you a story too. Okay, I will. I'll tell you a story. So, do you get cold sores too?
No, I don't actually.
Well, I used to get migraines and cold sores. So see, my personality is different from yours, but similar, because we both had migraines. Isn't that nice that we can be kind of similar? So, and I'm not kidding here. So this is the real art of health, okay? So when did you first have your first migraine?
As a child, I can't pinpoint exactly what age, but maybe 7, 8 years old.
7, 8 years old. Okay, so what was the drama in your lifetime? What do you know from the stories from your parents?
Well, I grew up without a dad, so there's definitely some abandonment issues. But there was also some abuse.
Oh, wait. Can I just make this perfectly clear? We can all say this, but you know what? And I really want to be nice about this. But I was sexually abused, I was emotionally abused, I was physically abused, and so was everybody else. They just don't remember it. Okay? So just know this. And we all get sexually abused on some level, maybe not as much as others. But the reality is this, it's how we process it too. So, we either become victims of it or we rewrite our story. And I just need to say this, and you're going to think I'm heartless, because the whole world is victimized right now. The whole world is having too much empathy for everyone. Okay, oh, poor baby. Oh, God, me too. Oh, yeah. No, let me tell you something right now. Welcome to planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure where everyone gets sexually, physically, and emotionally abused, and then has to rewrite their story and tell a new story to themselves and rise above. Now, does everybody hear that? And you're going to go, well, you didn't get abused like me. Well, I don't know. I mean, I woke up 3 times having somebody give me a BJ when I was only 8 years old, and my mother didn't come and protect me. How's that? How's that, everybody? So the reality is that when I was growing up as a teenager, I felt really dirty and disgusted. By the time I was almost 20, I just got to the point that, you know what, I just came to the conclusion that this person was really sick here, okay? And forgive them anyway. And guess what? It was just a BJ, and it was 3 times. But I could have just kept it and told that story and made it worse. See, what society will do is, understand something. I know it's wrong, everyone, but what society will do is society will emphasize on the hurt, on the pain. They'll keep on opening the wound, okay? They'll make it a dirty thing. They'll just contort it all. There's no justice in society, just judgment in society. And you know what? I freed myself up from that because I will not be enslaved. I will not be enslaved to dysfunctional beliefs that keep my vibration down or make me feel useless or unworthy. I'm going to tell you something, Lucy, before we go any further. I used to have migraines, okay? When I first got out of school, okay, and remember something, this was a while ago, okay? And especially when I came back from the Australian Naturopathic College. I'll tell you something right now. The whole world was still saying that we were phonies, fakes, frauds, natural health. You know, people were so programmed back then. You know, if it wasn't for people dying in families, because that's what they're doing, people are dying off in families. But, you know, and you'd think the logic would wake people up. But back then, everything was so, you know, the next latest, greatest medical breakthrough. You know, I always felt like a fraud, you know, trying to be a health practitioner. And you know, I'd run behind behind my clinic, smoke a couple cigarettes, come back. But the reality is I was always stressed out that people were going to find out I was a fraud. But that wasn't even about the health thing. I guess I got that I was a fraud when I was a young kid. You know, and why was I a fraud? Well, because I wasn't maybe good looking enough. I wasn't smart enough. I just wasn't good enough. I mean, seriously. And I always felt that way. I was the middle child, right? And I always felt like I didn't get the attention I wanted from my mom or my dad. And I always felt like I wasn't really that smart. And oh boy, if I could just be smarter at school. But how could I be smarter at school when I'm a rebel and school sucks? School sucks. I mean, no kid should have to go to school. I mean, they should find their passion and purpose and start that early in life, as long as they can read, write, okay? As long as they can read, write, and add math, do math, that's all we need to do. And then let's just have a beautiful life. People are just so programmed. So I'm only telling you my story, Lucy, because you're going to have to go back and rewrite your story a little bit, okay? So your mother...
I definitely want to, yes. Yeah. I don't want to hang on to it, for sure.
Well, you're going to hang on to it because here's the deal. I remember when my parents broke up, okay? And then I was with my mother. My mother was always scared. And, you know, she would drink. But once my parents broke up, she became a full-fledged alcoholic. Okay, then she started lying and justifying, and oh my gosh. She was trying to be a great person, but it just she just fell right down with it. I don't want to get into my mother's life. God love her, she did the best she could for us. But your mother would have been fearful, she would have been scared, because women are taught that they're weaker, the weaker sex back then. Especially back then, okay? Especially back then, they're the weaker sex, and you know what are we gonna do? How am I gonna feed my children? So your mother's gonna be very fearful, and that fear, believe it or not, went into you. It's gonna go into you whether you like it or not, okay? Because your mother didn't know how to hide it because she became it, right? Yes or no?
She didn't know it was happening. She didn't know it was happening. It wasn't my father, it was someone else in the family.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fear your mother had in raising you without a father. Okay?
Right, okay.
Okay, there's a ton of fear for your mother. So we're not talking about what was happening to you from somebody else.
Okay.
And you know what? I am not trying to condone this person's behavior, but understand something. There's a lot of people out there with dysfunctional beliefs, okay? And there's a lot of people that we would call predators. And the reality is that these people are actually, and people aren't going to like this, but even in religion we have predators, don't we? Don't we have sexual predators in religion? So they're everywhere. I mean, we have to go right back to, the psycho elite that perpetuate this stuff for an evil entity that always has been on this planet. So if you can understand that nobody comes down here scot-free. Nobody comes down here without being programmed that they're worthless. Nobody comes down here without being physically, emotionally, and sexually abused on some level. It doesn't happen. But what does happen is the way you tell the story to yourself, the way that others, when you tell them the story, the way they take it. What if you had a friend and you told a friend a long time ago that this happened to you, and she says, yeah, it happened to me too, but you know what? I've learned to rewrite the story. I've learned to even forgive that person, because the more I hated them and the more I told the story to myself, I made myself sick. And that's the truth. So if we can't tell a new story, so no, don't go and forgive them. No, let's hope they go to hell. But we're going to take ourselves to hell as well. So the reality is that there's no support out there like this. You know, I get it. You know, there has to be, somebody's got to pay. Well, if somebody has to keep paying, then this isn't a justice society. You know, and I'm telling you that right now. I'm not telling you that we should let predators be predators, but the reality is that the people that were the victims of it, we make them victims for the rest of their life, because we allow the story to be told on a silent level in the mind, and if we share it with anyone, then we get all this sympathy, or, oh God, don't you just want to kill him? Oh my God, did he go to jail? Oh, is he still running around and getting people? You know, I don't know what to say, but the reality is planet Earth is a fun-filled, life-threatening adventure, okay, for those who learn the rules. So the reality is when did this sexual abuse take place?
It's a bit blurry, I think,
What?
between.
What?
It's a bit blurry. I can't pinpoint the age exactly, but.
Okay, so okay, I need you to try. Just try.
It could have been anywhere between 7 and 10.
Okay, so when did your migraine start? Between 7 and 10, you just said it. Now here's the reality. Do you know what kids have? What do kids have, Lucy? Tell me what kids have that adults don't have.
Innocence.
Well, I do. I still have it. I had to work to get it back. A huge imagination. A huge imagination. So it's blurry for you. So understand your imagination is also added to it, or it might even have blocked some of it. So what part of it's really true?
It's really hard for me to.
That's right.
Yes,
so now guess what you need to do? You need to start not trying to see if you can look through the muddy waters and find the truth. You need to rewrite the story and just let it go. Just
yeah,
let
I
it
want
go.
to, for sure.
Well, I know, but this is your migraines. This is where your migraines started. So guess what? If you traumatize yourself or someone else traumatizes you, and then you go to bed with that trauma for days on end, which if something did happen, if it did happen, it happened, or if it happened and it just traumatized you and it puts you into a fear state, you're going to wake up with it, go to bed with it, wake up with it, go to bed with it. And do you know what the subconscious does? It says, I have to get rid of the story. I have to get rid of the story. You're not going to remember the story. And even in those few days, you probably enhanced the story. Enhance the story. And then your mind's going to go, this is killing you. We're going to get rid of the story and we're going to bury the story. So now we can go back there and try to dig up the story, and then we're going to try to tell you to use your imagination to try to dig up the story. Or what we can do is we can make peace with it and just retell the story and even practice forgiving this person, because they're still not in your life, are they?
I don't see them, but they're still alive. No,
Pardon?
they're not in my life. I don't see them, but they're still alive, yes.
Okay, but still, okay. All right. So are they a friend of the family?
They are part of the family, unfortunately.
Okay, have you ever talked to them and asked them, did this happen? Because it really feels like it happened to me. You'll be able to tell.
I know it happened for sure, 100%.
Okay.
I just, it's not that I don't remember if it happened. I just don't remember the exact, years.
Okay. So what
exact
happened?
age.
All right. Okay. All right.
I know it happened 110%.
Okay, so you know what? I'm not trying to, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to down anything, please, everybody. I'm not, okay? But you know what? The one thing that I realize is that this is the planet we live, and the planet's been the same since the very beginning. These are the rules on this planet, that everybody's going to get abused on all levels. Yes or no? Lucy, has everybody you know been abused?
Yes.
Yes, Lucy.
To some degree, yes.
So let's get that. So now, the abuse could have occurred more than someone else, but understand, our mind will do a good job blowing it up, and then it'll try to bury it because it says, wow, Okay, you can't let your imagination run anymore with this because you're burning up your brain. You could have a stroke, a heart attack. Okay, you could make yourself really sick. So the subconscious will actually try to shut that story down, and it'll try to bury that story. So the reality is this, you know what? I don't even want to tell this story, but you know what? I had somebody that was close to me that we trusted, and they took my partner $300,000, and that just happened 3 weeks ago. Okay, so right now we could be devastated. Okay, or we can learn that we need to really just, you know, protect the hen house more, and put a smile on our face, and not ruin one more moment of our day, to have a beautiful day today. I don't know, you know, see, if you've been following me, you can see, how's my focus been? You know, am I devastated? Am I crushed? Am I ruined? No, I'm not going to be. Okay, I'm not going to be. And that's the deal. The more that you allow yourself, okay, to feel this negative emotion, and everybody thinks that, you know what, that this is just natural. What are you talking about, Daryl? It's normal. Okay, so whatever the devastation is, if it was this big, then I need to feel this much suffering. If it was this big, then I need to feel this much suffering, or even more. And then if I don't get control of my emotions, maybe it'll even give me cancer, or liver disease, or liver cirrhosis, or it'll give me colitis, or it could give me migraines for the rest of my life. Because why?
I honestly don't think about it, but I am just in fight or flight. Everything, I've got such high anxiety. You know, I can't, I've got brain fog, I've got no memory. It's like getting through the day is just so difficult. And then you wake up
but
with
I
this
know,
pain,
but you
pain.
don't practice safety. You don't practice saying I'm safe. You don't practice belly button therapy. You're gonna have to do belly button therapy at least every time you start to feel stressed, because you know that if you do belly button therapy, let me see here. Where is it? It's up there. Can you grab that for me? Okay, thank you. So, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Also, take a look at this. I don't have it here. Grab me the structure unit as well. And I'm not telling you to get this, okay? But if you actually were to actually breathe through a water structure unit, it structures the air. Right away, it calms the system down, calms you down. If you actually were to put a slight smile on your face every time you feel anxiety, well, Lucy, if you were to walk around with a slight smile on your face all day long, practice it. That's it right there. Did you know that right away, your body goes more alkaline? Right away, you bring yourself into a parasympathetic state. So you don't walk around with a smile on your face. We know that. Anybody that's in fight or flight only smiles if there's a joke, or someone says you're pretty, or if somebody gives you some money, or if somebody does something. The reality is I'm going to put a slight smile on my face, and I'm going to keep it there, because that is my protection. That's my God-given protection, right? And I do belly button therapy every morning, and I connect to my lion heart breathing, and I focus on the way the day's going to go. And if there's a drama, I'm not going to react. I'm going to connect to my lion heart breath right away. I'm going to give myself at least 30 seconds before I do anything. So the more dramatic something is, the more calmer you need to be. So, and the other thing is I'm going to tell you this, you need to clap every day for 40 minutes, your neck, your face, and your head. And go look at my clapping for health. And I'll tell you something right now, I clapped last night for an hour and 10 minutes. And I clap every second day, my neck, my face, my head. And guess what? When I put this together, okay, I want to tell you something. I was getting migraines for 3 days out of every week. They would always come around Friday, okay, or Thursday, okay? And so I kept running the same program. And if you watch yourself, Lucy, you're running the same program all the time. So you got to change your program. You're not doing different things. Start doing the belly button therapy. Start doing the clapping, okay? Start walking around with a slight smile on your face.
Can I do the belly button therapy when I have hernia?
Yes, you can. And understand something. What do you have, an inguinal hernia or a hiatal?
It's near a belly button, but they didn't call it a belly button actually.
Oh,
it's a very
Oh, it's near the belly button. Well, then we know that you have, well, especially if you have a hernia near your belly button, we know that you've got some mummy issues, okay? Because your mummy had some issues when she was pregnant with you, okay? Now, you do know that the hernia will heal. Now, did you get mesh with that hernia or surgery yet?
Oh my God, they tried to offer me surgeries. I said no.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do you have a bulge there?
Yes, I do, small one.
A small, how small?
It's about maybe 2 centimeters across.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I want you to do, oh, hold on here. Yarrick,
Yep.
tell Drake to pull up Tom hernia. And you're going to see me do an actual testimonial with this gentleman. Tell you a story. Just so you know, you could get rid of this if you wanted it, okay? But he had a hernia, and it was the size of a small peach. And when his wife called me, they were going to come and take him to surgery. And he said, what should I do? And I said, well, if I was me, I wouldn't do it. And I go, oh my God, doctor, what am I going to do? And I said, well, if it was me, I wouldn't do it. But you do whatever you want. But if you don't do it, I'll show you how to get rid of it. So just so you know that in 6 months, Tom's hernia was the size of a small hard pea, okay? And he doesn't even have that hard pea scar tissue anymore. So he never had the surgery. Now, if they would have gone in there, they would have put mesh in there. And then what would have happened is mesh creates more inflammation, more scar tissue, and then it would tear out where the mesh ends, okay? Because now you've got a physical block. And the only reason why you get a hernia on an emotional level, that's a different situation, but on a physical level is because you're pooping in your pelvis. So the reality is that you were blocking up in your bowel, and then what happens is you're leaking that waste. And then what happens is the peritoneal lining actually rots out, and then your intestines. You're still unwilling to let it go, and the unwilling to let it go, and it's not your fault. It's not like I'm getting up in the morning. I'm unwilling to let this go. And we already know if it wasn't important, even though you say you don't think about it a lot, is the sexual abuse, you still haven't let it go. So whatever you don't let go, you're going to bury, and anything that's really toxic, you're going to bury it in a manure pile so nobody can find it. Because you're going to bury something that's really, okay, excuse me everyone, but I'm going to say this. Anything that's really shitty in your life, you're going to put it in there, okay? Because that's where you want it to stay. So the reality is you've got to rewrite your story. You got to let this go. So if I'm not able to let something go on an emotional level, will I be able to go to the bathroom on a physical level pretty good? So we know that you have trouble going to the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what other things are you not willing to let go, Lucy? Because that's really the bottom line, is you have a problem of letting go. Do you get angry a lot and then hold grudges, or what? Be honest, be honest, be honest.
Yes, I do.
Okay, because
I feel like I'm a very caring, loving person.
No, you're not.
And
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. What you are is you say, listen, if I love you, you should treat me right. You should, and I should get what I need if I give you what you need. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. And so you go, the world owes me. People owe me. And guess what? Nobody owes me anything. So Lucy, you just keep this, okay? You just keep this. Don't let go of this shit. Excuse my expression, everyone, but there's no other way to say it. And then you're going to hold on to this. You're going to rot out, and you're already rotting out. You're rotting out because you've got stinking thinking. No. So you know what? Are you married?
yes, I have 2 children.
Yeah. Okay. I asked you if you're married. I didn't ask you if you had children. Did you notice that? So what she said, everyone, is I really love my children, but I have trouble with my husband. Did anybody get that? I hope you did. Okay, so just know this. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. My father actually was a born-again Christian, and he actually baptized me when I was 12 years old to get the devil out of me, because I keep telling him about people when they walk in and what they really meant and who was lying and what they were like. So anyway, how long have you and your husband been having trouble with each other? And how long have you felt that your husband doesn't give you what you give him?
I'd say it's been the last 2-3 years have been pretty rocky, but
Yeah, but
maybe 5.
if 2 or 3 years have been rocky, then that means it's been at least 10 to 12 years that it hasn't been great. How's that?
Well, that's an exaggeration, but maybe the last 5 for sure.
Okay, 5 or so. So I'm not exaggerating. I'm just trying to stir things up, love. Okay. So I
Yeah,
would. Yeah.
there is imbalance. I gave up work to look after the children, and
Oh yeah,
I
but
think
hold on 1 second. So you didn't want to look after the children?
I did. I
Okay,
really,
so that
really
means
did.
you didn't give up work for him. You gave it up for the children. You gave it up
But
because you love your children.
with that, yes, but with that came the loss.
You didn't give it up because of him. You gave it up because you love your children.
Yes,
No,
yes.
but you just said you gave it up for him. I don't know if you noticed that.
I
Yeah, you did. So go
Okay.
back and listen to the video and you'll see. You have to read into yourself and read into people. You see, here's the problem, Lucy. Unless you're trained how to actually observe yourself, people always say, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I didn't think that. I'm not doing this. I don't know what you're talking about. No, this is the way I always act. This is who I am. And understand something. This is why I tell people if they take my whole life coach course, they're going to learn how to observe themselves with unconditional love in others and move forward. So that's the way it is. And that's why this whole harvest thing of human beings is going down, because people are not going to invest into reclaiming their mind, which means their subconscious. They're not going to do it because people won't do it because most people are worthless. I mean, what are you worth, Lucy? Do you feel pretty worthless?
yeah.
I know you do. And guess what? And believe it or not, that's nobody's fault, and it's not even yours, but it is your responsibility because you were made to feel worthless when you were a child and you didn't have a daddy. And then, the sexual abuse, that was the icing on the cake. So now you felt worthless all your life. Now, if you were priceless, how would your husband, would he treat you different if you were priceless or worthless? What would be the difference? And would you let somebody treat you as if you were worthless if you were priceless?
No.
That's it. So I'm priceless. And I'm not going to let anybody treat me like I'm worthless. And I also know that 99% of the population is insane and on the edge of emotional disaster continually. And that's the truth. If you look at society, and I'm not blaming anyone, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone, it's just that I've put my heart and soul into observing myself and learning how to unconditionally love myself and get rid of every belief system that's in me that's toxic, that was put there by me or anybody else. And I'm still working on it. I'll be working on it every day because you have to be mindful here, because understand, I don't live with anyone that, well, I live with my partner, Lori, and this is what we do. We are two spirits. We are not husband and wife, and we are not man and woman. Okay, we're two spirit beings, knowing that we came to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, and that most of the people here are never, ever going to unconditionally love themselves, so they're not going to unconditionally love us, and they're going to judge us, which happens all the time, and we're going to love them anyway. But for what I just said, you're not even close to that because it takes a lot of loving yourself. So if you were to totally unconditionally love yourself, that's the first thing. So I'm going to ask you now, what do you feel guilty for in your relationship with your husband and your kids and your mother and the world? What do you feel guilty for?
Everything. I feel like I'm not good enough. I can't.
So guess what? So guess what? Now you're going to have migraines for the rest of your life. You're going to have to get stronger medication because whatever you feed gets bigger, not better. Poof, poof. Okay, so whatever you feed gets bigger. So did you not notice that? So when somebody who has contaminated, corrupted, conflicted beliefs, and they have cancer, they may get rid of it, but it's going to come back the second, third time, and the fourth they're gone. So that's the whole story, because your body can't take it. And the reality is, if you could have cancer once, and you actually said, I'm not going to try to cure cancer, I'm going to go and find out my authentic self, learn the one law, one love, unconditional love for myself, and guess what? We wouldn't even need any other treatment, Lucy, if we had unconditional love for ourselves, because Cancer gets turned on by a vibration and turned off by a vibration. Your migraines get turned on by a vibration and they get turned off by a vibration. And if you notice, your migraines are getting longer, okay, because they will get longer as your belief systems get bigger. And your belief systems get bigger if you don't change your beliefs. So you got to change the beliefs about yourself. So let me tell you something. It's not your kids and it's not your husband. So until you're going to take a good look at the belief systems that are in your subconscious, and I don't want to be here too long, but understand chemistry. You need to understand chemistry. That you activate every migraine you have. And guess why? And you activate it for how long and strong it's going to be, for how much you need to be punished. Now, here's the deal. The brain is only 10% conscious. That's it. That's what it's made. 10% of the brain is 10% conscious. 90% of the brain is subconscious. Now, is that fair? No. Did that which created the whole universe do that? I don't think so. I actually believe that the human body was manipulated down here and genetically altered. So that's my belief, and I'm allowed to have it, so don't throw rocks at me. But because I don't believe that the source of everything would have taken the brain and made a big storage compartment that all it did was store beliefs. That's all it does. 90% of the brain stores beliefs. Well, who would want that? So that would mean that if 90% of your brain stored the beliefs, then you would understand that people only live in the conscious moment if they've never done something like the Whole Life Coach course. And I'm serious, because you'll never do it again if you took this course. People are only in the present moment 2% of the day. 2%. So who's going to change? Okay, what big change is going to be made if you take 2% of your day to actually be in the present moment? And the only place that you can get rid of a headache is in the present moment. The only place that you can do a magic is in the present moment. The only place you can create something new is in the present moment. The only way that you can get rid of anything or create anything new is in the present moment. So that's why I know that the harvest is on and it's going to be very successful for the psycho elite. And the reality is, if you were to do the Braveheart Loving Steps and just do the 4 pillars, I'll wear a slight smile every day and I'll prove that Dr. Wolf is wrong, and I'll do it for 33 days. I'll wear a slight smile. No matter what anybody says, no matter what the drama is, I will wear a slight smile. I will also put a love band on, and every time I have a negative thought, I'll do this, because that's a kiss, and this is as snug as a hug, and this means there's a new sheriff in town called One Law, One Love, Unconditional Love. And right on here it says 3, 2, 1, I got this. And every time I click the band, that will keep me in the present moment instead of going into where? Into my subconscious programming and just keep kicking things in. You know, as soon as you start to feel that little bit of euphoric headache, migraine coming on, you just have to do this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. I love myself. I'm going to smile. I'm going to connect to my breath. I'm going to do the mirror work that Dr. Wolf said every morning and every night. Every time I get in the car, I'm going to look in the mirror and say, I love you. You're beautiful. You are a genius. You're a beautiful mother. You're a beautiful wife, and you got this, and you are everything, and you don't need anyone to tell you anymore. But you don't do that, do you? No. When you look in the mirror to do your makeup and your hair, you don't even look in your eyes. So let me see you sit in front of the mirror and do this also for 10 minutes every day. Look in the mirror and look deep into your eyes and just connect to your lion heart breath and just say, I love you, Lucy. I love you with all my heart and soul. I love you, Lucy. And just stay there and think about that. And just send love into those eyes, deep into your soul. And if you don't want to do this, Lucy, then it's not going to work. So why don't you go for psychotherapy, lay on a couch, and then tell everybody your problems and how you're trying to get over the sexual abuse and the physical abuse and the emotional abuse, and how, you know, your kids don't appreciate you because when you've got a migraine, they can't be quiet, and your husband doesn't appreciate that you gave up your job. So understand, you better start telling a new story to yourself, and there's nothing bad about you. The story's bad, and the story's not your story. And you need to trade it in for a new story. Okay? And understand something. Let me see you fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your belief systems. It's going to take work. So 33 days, a slight smile on your face. If you don't want to order these Braveheart Love Bands, then get just a hair band, plain and simple, a black one, put it there, maybe tie a little knot in it so you can grab it easy. And every time that you have a little negative thought, you feel the headache coming on, I got this. And when you feel the headache coming on, and every time you do this, I want you to go drink structured water. Okay, and I want you to start taking some of the nutraceuticals to buffer down the acid that you're creating, because everything starts from the emotional to the physical. The biological is ruled only by the psychological, and it's the deal. And you trigger the headaches, and it's a program you're running. And start calendar tracking yourself. Wow, my husband just said that. He pissed me off and I stayed angry for an hour. That triggered my headache. Okay, wow. I just noticed that I said something to my husband that always gets him going, and then he irritates me by saying this. Believe it or not, lovers either come together and push each other's love buttons, or they come together and push each other's hate buttons. And it's not to hate each other, it's to run the hateful subconscious beliefs you don't even know you're running. See, Lucy, you actually think that loving yourself is at 10%. 8 to 10%, that's all I see in you. 8 to 10%. Everybody else is responsible for the other 92% to fill it up. So if your children and your husband aren't filling up the other 92% of your heart, then you're going to be having tantrums and headaches for the rest of your life. I'm going to fill up my heart today completely with everything. And then if Lori can't be there for me, I'm going to have my heart so full that I'm going to shine that light on her, because I am going to show her the love that she's not feeling for herself. That's my partner. I'm going to try to do that the best that I can for everybody else. But my job is not to go out and fix anybody. My job is to stay in alignment of unconditional love for myself, because then I'm untouchable. And also, you may not know this, but I don't believe that you're here for any reason, Lucy, except to feed your spirit and bring up your vibration and move on to a new game called not planet Earth. I believe that human beings are probably some of the lowest vibrational spirit beings in the universe, because who else would be poisoning themselves and each other and killing each other? You know, that's just, we just do it so easy and so simply. So you can tell that we're really low vibrational species in the whole universe. So wouldn't it be great if you learned how to unconditionally, totally love yourself, rewrite a new story, so then you would let your husband off the hook for everything you think he's responsible for, and your children. And then you can also start looking at things objectively and going, what's your husband's name? Well, let's call him Peter. Are you still there, Lucy?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's call your husband Peter. So once you really start getting your game on and going, you know, Peter, I got to tell you, I've been working on this, trying to get to a point in my life where I don't have to forgive myself anymore. And I don't have to forgive anybody else anymore. So understand, I'm going to be trying something new here. And I know that if I could love myself more and fill up my own heart with love and not demand it from you and the children, because when I get like that, I'm having tantrums. I know that. I realize that now. So when you see me starting to look after myself and care for myself, and I'm doing things that are unusual and kind of out of the ordinary than what I usually do, please allow me to do it. If I'm not hurting you or the children, please allow me to do it, because I need to free myself from this slavery of these beliefs that I'm worthless, or that I'm not a good mother, or I'm not a good wife, or that I need to count on you to make me feel good and the children to make me feel good. I need to learn how to make myself feel good and love myself first and foremost. So I need you to just relax, sit back, and if I'm doing something different, just know that you don't have to worry about me, but you've got to let me be for the next 33 days. And then by the time the 33 days are up, Lucy, if you've done my Braveheart 4 pillar steps, but if you did the whole 12 steps, you'd really start to learn things. But if you were to take an hour or two and work on the Braveheart online intelligence course, the emotional one, that you would see, I spell it all out. And if you want it, you can have it for free. Just type in Braveheart free, go to Masterclass at the top of the page at docofdetox.com, click on Masterclass, and then click on Braveheart emotional intelligence course, and you can have it for free. It's around $900 and some dollars or something. But go through that, start doing your homework. See, the thing is this, you spend so much energy being pissed off at yourself and everybody else. If you were to take that energy and just put your hand on your heart, connect to the lion heart breath, and just go, I'm going to use my energy and my time to learn how to love myself, you'd have this. But dude, I got you. You have to understand that perfected wise, 1 out of 10,000 people do it. But a lot of people pull it off to the point that they no longer keep on hurting themselves and their family, which is pretty cool too, right? Okay, and so they have a life with bumps in it, but not continual drama, trauma, and being hurt all the time. All right, what do you think?
I think that's a great plan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but the problem is your subconscious will let you get away with it for a few days. But I hope you know this, Lucy, that your subconscious is the dumbest part of you or the smartest part of you. So if you've got sick beliefs, you're sick. If you've got poverty beliefs, then you're poverty. If you got beliefs that I can make all the money in the world, you're going to. And I'm telling you, you're going to. If you've got beliefs that healthy beliefs, really in healthy beliefs, you're going to be healthy. That's how it works. You know, if you got beliefs that you believe that you've been disrespected, then you're going to disrespect yourself and everybody else. So that's how this game works. Okay? And understand this. The subconscious, well, first of all, just get this. The brain is not intelligent. It has to be the beliefs in it that are intelligent. Okay? If you saw me in school, you would have saw that I barely made it through school. Like, people think I'm highly intelligent. I'm not. Okay? I'm just become more logical. And also, I've learned, it was a real struggle, though, to believe I wasn't worthless, to believe that I deserved unconditional love from myself, and then to understand that I'm not going to get unconditional love from other people because they can't give it to themselves. So how are they going to give it to me? And how are your kids going to give you unconditional love when you don't have unconditional love for yourself and your husband doesn't, and you don't have it for each other? So why would your kids give it to you? Because your kids are just, they're just a combination of you and your husband. And you and your husband have a dysfunctional relationship, so your kids should be dysfunctional. That's it. That's it. There's logic.
I'm the harshest judge of myself, you know, and I always feel guilty for not doing this, not having enough time to do this, not failing again at something.
One second. I don't really care what people think, so let's just get over that one.
I think.
The other thing is I don't care what about anybody's approval. I don't need anybody's approval to be me. So you're still running around looking for approval, maybe because your dad left. So you want approval from everyone that you busted your butt. And you know, you're willing to give yourself a headache as long as someone says, I love you, mommy, or I love you, sweetheart, you're amazing, I can't live without you. So you keep running that program and you're going to keep getting those headaches.
Just got to do small steps every day, right?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you just love yourself? Why don't you just at every breath say, am I loving myself? Is that a decision that someone who loves himself would make? Why do I say yes to people when I don't have any time and I don't have any energy? Why am I doing that? Well, because I'm worthless. Why aren't you saying no when you should say no and saying yes to yourself when you should say yes? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you getting your kids to do whatever they can do for themselves and get your husband to do what he can do for himself? And then why aren't you spending time with yourself on loving and caressing your own body? Skin brushing, salt glow, ultimate coffee enema, doing pelvic stretches, like doing pelvic squats, ultimate coffee enema, getting rid of a lot of that anger in your liver. Well, you better do something, girl, or you're just going to blow up. And I guarantee you, if you started doing the ultimate coffee enema and you did it twice a day, your headaches are going to come down because you've got so much anger stored in there because you actually believe the little fairy tale that Disney told you that if you suffer long enough and hard enough and work hard enough and you just till the point that you're exhausted, that you will get everything you want in life. Well, how's that working for you?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Well, it would be. But here's the deal. Do you turn the Wi-Fi off when you go to bed at night?
No.
Well, people that love themselves would do that. Okay? You don't leave the Wi-Fi on when you go to bed at night. That means that there's total acidity and that you'll never ever enter a REM state, and your kids don't either. So don't ask yourself why your kids are miserable the next day. You can't leave EMF on all night. You can't do that. Okay? And how often are you on a phone? How often are you on the computer?
A lot. I came off social media, but still, I'm trying not to, but still, yes, of course, we spend a lot of time on it.
All right. So have you already gotten a consultation from somebody, a perfect day consultation from one of my consultants?
Yes.
All right. And are you eating what's your addiction still?
I'm waiting to order the product. So far I've just not implemented.
All right. Well, I can tell you right now, you need to get the ultimate coffee enema going. That's going to be really important because you're going to need to dump the anger that's in your liver. And I guarantee you've got liver problems.
I've got lots of digestive issues, yes.
Well, no, you've got digestive issues because you can't let go. And even if you eat right, you're always going to have digestive issues because you still can't let go. You can't let go of your story. You got to rewrite your story. And your stories come out to you being a victim mother and a victim wife. Because you fell for the story that if you suffer long enough and strong enough, you'll have all the love you want from this world. That's such the biggest crock I've ever heard. You know what? I used to go to work, okay? And I never worked for anyone. I had my own clinic very fast, very soon. And, I never realized it was in me that I would go to work and I would, this is me already being a naturopathic practitioner. And I would go to work and just work so hard that I would be exhausted when I came home and even have a headache. And the reality is I wanted to show my family that I'm worth something, and I suffered so much for you today, and I've made enough money to put food on the table and pay the rent. And look at me, I've got headaches so bad that I'm not going to be with you guys tonight, but I'd love to be. I got to go to bed. Yeah, there you go. What an idiot. But I called myself that, and then I had to stop calling myself an idiot because I wasn't an idiot. I was just running an idiot program that I went and gave myself because most men will do that. And most people will do that. It's all in the suffering, isn't it? Family's all in the suffering. He or she who suffers the most must love the most, so that's what I was doing. My father used to get migraines all the time, and he was exhausted all the time. He didn't have any energy for my mother or for us when I was younger, so I guess I had to be him or something. I'm not really sure. But the reality is, if you've got migraines, you'll want to drink as much warm to hot water as possible because we know that you're in fight or flight all the time. We know that you're eating up your magnesium, so you would want to get the mag infusion. You definitely need the daily cleansing tea and the black gold. And the daily cleansing tea, don't come off of it. Make it 2-bag tea because you're all jammed up. And the reality is, where do you live? You live somewhere in Europe?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't have anybody there. But you know what? If ever you can get some Wolf non-surgical, you have to understand something. There's not a person alive that doesn't have adhesions that are wrapping around their large intestine, small intestine, and choking off your digestion, choking off your assimilation, and also your elimination. But understand something. How often do you sit down with the family and you're upset with the kids or your husband? At supper. At supper. At supper.
I guess it's a
What?
it's a quite often probably.
Well,
I
then
mean,
you
over
don't-
silly things, you know.
I know, but
silly things.
no, but hold on a second. You and your husband are terrorists, okay? And you need to sit down with him. You are not allowed to come there unless you've got love in your heart, or you don't eat. You don't eat, you just drink. Because then you just want to cool out the fire. But understand, just let the kids see that at the table. They're not digesting, he's not digesting, you're not digesting, so now the food is rotting in everyone in the family. So why'd you even buy it? You know, why'd you even eat? So that's not going to work. So understand something. You need to do something new, and you need to sit down with your husband and do it and say, how old are your kids anyways?
10 and 6.
6, 10 and 6. Well, okay, well, you better get your act together, and you and your husband better stop having tantrums. Now, and I mean that in the nicest way, okay, because that's what it is. I mean, you know, with adults, it's called, what is it called? Emotional disorders, okay? Nervous system disorders. Well, it's actually just a tantrum that never stopped, okay? And it's just built in. I mean, if a child has a tantrum, we send them to their room. So you and your husband would probably need to be locked up for the rest of your life, okay?
We argue a lot about him getting angry. He gets angry a lot, and
well, because
and
he's
we
frustrated.
argue.
Because he's frustrated because he doesn't have the tools to understand you. He doesn't understand you, Lucy. He loves you, but he doesn't understand you because he doesn't have the tools to understand you.
But it's like he's not willing to learn to understand himself and work on himself. You know,
Well,
I know I need to do my part.
But hold on, there you just said it. But he's not going to. Men don't do that. Men don't do that. Okay? Men don't. They think in a straight line, Lucy. They don't think like this. They don't give themselves time to observe things, right? When you have a problem, he just wants to go, Lucy, here's the problem. Here's the answer. Let's move on.
That's exactly how he talks to me. Give
I
me the
know that.
facts. Don't
I
give me
know
the
that
fluffy duffy.
because he's incapable of loving himself and being patient with you because he doesn't love himself.
Yes,
But
he's
that's-
also the middle child.
What?
He's also the middle child.
Yeah, but I'm a middle child, okay?
Well, you worked on yourself. He's
Oh,
not.
listen, I certainly was going to work on myself. You know, I'm going to tell you something, Lucy. A long time ago, Lucy, like over a quarter century ago, I said, you know what? I'm not going to kill myself, but I am not living on this planet like this. There is no way that I am going to live on this planet and be like everybody else. So now guess what? So here's the deal. You get to be like this, Lucy. You're going to have less friends, but you're going to have real people around you. Okay? So just know that. Okay? The whole thing is that whether people want to believe it or not, Lucy, what you're here to do is you're learn to see if you can feed your spirit, if you can unconditionally love yourself. That means you won the game down here. If you can't do that, you'll never do it. And a lot of people aren't going to understand. They're already thinking I'm a whack job here on the internet right now. And that's good. And they can. Because if I'm not going to follow the herd, then I've got to understand that the majority is going to think that I'm crackers. And that's totally cool. Because I'm the one that's having the beautiful day, and no matter what drama happens today, I'll have a smile on my face, I'll connect to my breath, I'm not going to react, I'm not going to attack, I'm going to say, how can I take massive personal action? So how does it feel, Lucy, to feel like your life is always being threatened and it's not? So the last time that your life was in danger, you can't even remember, but you're in danger 24/7, and that's why you have a migraine. So you can't run away from a paper tiger 24/7 and not have a piece bit out of you, because you do.
It's true. And I try and meditate, and it's.
Okay, first of all, I think meditation's great. You know, I'll get up in the morning with Lori. We'll sit. We'll put music on. We sit there quiet. We connect to our breath, and we just breathe and just relax and just listen, and that's it. But the reality is guess what? You need to get this, Lucy. Meditation is not the key. Okay? It's what you do with the rest of your day. If your day becomes a meditation. So no matter what goes on around you, you are the you are there. You are there. So if you just stop putting prices on everything. If she does this, I do that. If he does this, I do that. What if you didn't do anything and just connected to your breath and did the Lionheart breath 3 times? By the time you did it 3 times, you'll break the pattern or just go like that. Nobody knows you're doing it. Just grab it and just go. Okay? Keep yourself in the present moment. Don't open your mouth. How about not opening your mouth? The next time okay, so you and your husband are doing this, okay? You're playing pinball lovers, right? Bam, 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 bam. What if he goes bam and you just go nothing?
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah,
for
but,
sure.
but I know, but that's, you don't do that. But you don't do that. You're having the same fight for the last 3 years, the same thing, the same ending, the same beginning, the same middle, and the same ending. Oh my God, please, okay? And guess what? That is how you hate each other. And then guess what? After a while, you don't talk anymore, and then you just decide you're going to put up with each other if you don't want to break up the money part or the kids part, and you'll just hang in there and suffer because you've both been taught that suffering is the way. That's what you do for family. Whoever suffers the most loves the most. No. We don't need to break up families, but the only way that we're not going to break up, we can stay together and break our family into pieces, or we can unconditionally learn how to love ourselves and connect to our breath, and we'll break nobody up. We'll hurt nobody. But then, guess what? Because how long have you been together with Peter?
Over a decade.
Okay, so that's a decade. So the reality is now you're going to change and that you're going to buy into this unconditional love stuff. And if he doesn't, guess what? Now you're going to bring yourself up, he's going to bring you down. You're going to bring yourself up, he's going to bring you down. He's going to bring yourself up, he's going to bring you down. So eventually you'll break up anyway. But at least when you break up, you'll know how to get yourself up, and then you'll go out into the world, and then maybe if you could unconditionally totally love yourself, you'll find somebody else that's minding their own business and loving themselves, and then you come together as 2 spirit beings instead of husband and wife till death do us part. Give me a break, death do us part. Or husband and wife for rich or poor. I'm not doing that either. Or for, how about this one, in sickness and in health. Nobody's going to get sick that I live with. And well, what kind of moron says that? Seriously. And then people are going, well, what does he know? What about genetic diseases? Well, there isn't any. It's epigenetic, everybody, and you better know that. There was what was called the Genome Project. Millions and millions of dollars were spent, and at the end of it, did you ever hear about it? No, they couldn't tell you because there is no diseases that are genetic. They're epigenetic. So long enough, strong enough, your imagination will be your creation, or it'll be your inflammation to mutation, and that's it. That's all I can say. My father, he had 3 heart surgeries. He died of leukemia. He had leukemia 3 times. Twice we got rid of it for him. 3rd time couldn't do it. My mother, she died of lung and tongue cancer. She came to me. We got rid of the tongue cancer. We were beating the lung cancer. I went to do a lecture. She went back home, went back to menthol cigarettes and alcohol. The reality is this. You can love people, but you can't change them. And if you learn how to unconditionally love yourself, you will change. You will find that little girl that you lost when you were younger, Lucy. And if you don't find her, and if she doesn't believe that you're going to protect her, she's not going to come out and play. And that's why you don't smile. That's why you're not happy, and that's why you don't have any energy, because you turn that sandbox into a kitty litter, okay, because you believe that being a mother, it's in the suffering, and that eventually people are going to love you the way that you should have been loved. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I love being a mother, don't get me wrong.
I already know you do, but you go back and listen to the conversation. Your subconscious tried to blame your husband for you quitting your job. And then he didn't tell you that he appreciated you giving up your job for the children. And the reality is he was brainwashed and raised that a woman's place is in the home. So he's not going to give you a congratulations on this. Because people don't know they're programmed. Oh my God, they don't know they're programmed? How could people not know they're programmed, for God's sakes? Okay, we've got a virus that doesn't exist. Okay, we got a V that's not a V. Okay, now we've got climate change coming that there is no climate change. And now we've got monkey, you know what, coming. And oh my God. So, you know, the reality is as human beings, God loved them anyway. And I'm just going to mind my business and have the best day of my life because guess what? The rest is none of my business. And I don't need anybody's approval, no matter what bombs are going off in the world for me to enjoy my day because people have been starving since the beginning of time. But they have to starve on an emotional level before they ever starve on a physical or nutritional level. That's it. If the world actually unconditionally loved itself, the game would be over. Everybody, well, then it would be over, but it'll never be over. Because
we are also at polar opposites of everything you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter that you're polar opposites.
I think like you, he's the opposite, so that creates a lot of, you know.
No. Hold on a second here though. You came together because you were opposites. Because if you came together out of unconditional love for yourself, then you'd have it for each other. And because he was opposite, he helped you see what you weren't seeing, and you're helping him see what he's not seeing. But instead of being an awakening, your relationship is an irritation. It's all the way you process. Listen, me and Lori are nothing the same. But we love being with each other. How's that? Seriously? She's nothing like me. And oh my God, if I would have partnered up with somebody like me, well, that would have been too much energy in the room too anyways. So the reality is you'll never be perfect for each other until you're perfect for yourself. Did you get that? There is no relationship where people are perfect for each other except for the first 6 months to 2 years, depending on how well you suppress your beliefs. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. You know what? Growth never stops, and you really don't grow until you get together with someone. Then your growth really starts, okay? Because that's when the challenge. We're challenge each other to observe and to grow, not judge. Because when you judge, somebody's got to go to jail. So every time you judge him or he judges you, you're both going to jail. So, you know, you'll probably be in jail for the rest of your life, okay?
Yeah, but the fundamental beliefs that you and Laurie have are the same, you know?
Well, no. There's one fundamental belief, unconditional love for me, for her, for each other. And understand, if we didn't do that, and if we were to allow ourselves to get angry at every time the world does something, or somebody does something, or somebody steals from us, or does something, right? Because it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. You can't protect everything. It's just going to happen. People are going to do it, and then people are going to justify why they had to do it. And that's because we're all in survival mode. People are in survival mode. They're not in thriver mode. As long as you're in survival mode, you're always going to give a reason why you had to do it. I had to kill him. He was going to kill me. I had to steal it because I needed it. Okay, I had to lie because I know it was the only way I could get around it. So that's the way we're going to do it. So that's the way it's going to stay. The world is not going to change. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to get that. Your children, your husband do not have the ability to give you what you've been waiting for. They haven't even made a bus to pick you up yet. It's not happening. So you're either going to have to just get comfortable, buckle up, baby, or you're going to have to start doing these things. How are we doing?
You're doing good. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate this.
Well, just understand it's the everything. And then I would really highly suggest that you take a look at sipping on C60, if you can afford it throughout the day. Getting on the infinite iodine, getting on the daily cleansing tea, the black diamond, the black gold, and doing the ultimate coffee enema. And also get curcumin cayenne 5000 and take 1 capsule every hour for 8 to 12 a day. And if you feel like there's a lot of acid coming out of you because it could stir it up, take a rounded teaspoon of baking soda, okay? And it doesn't matter, it can be Arm & Hammer or any kind. And then put that into a glass of warm water, 10 ounces, and just drink that because that'll help to buffer the acid, okay? Start letting go. Start practicing forgiving. Practice it. You know what? If you could get to the point that you don't have to forgive anybody anymore, just think how much emotional chaos you don't have to have. And the reality is this. If I have to go around forgiving every time somebody does something, you know, I'm not going to like them because people don't change. Okay, so what if my kids, I forgive them and then my kids do something? Am I going to get angry and then forgive them again or hate them? Which one should I do? So the reality is, I'm not going to get into that position. I'm just going to go, okay, you did it again, all right? If you're going to continually do it, my kids are adults now. If you're going to continually do it, okay, then I want you just to do it away from me, okay? And don't bring it around me anymore, okay? I really don't want to know. So if somebody has a personality that is very toxic, okay, I'm just going to say, if they say to me, oh, please forgive me, and I'll go, I'm not going to forgive you because what if you do it again? Then I'm going to be upset with you because I never judged you. But if you do it one more time, then guess what? Then I want you just to get away until you think you've changed. And if you haven't changed, then don't come back. And you're going to go, what? That's not very nice, Daryl, Dr. Wolf, whatever you want to call yourself. And I'll go, well, the reality is this, is I'd rather love them from afar, okay, than have them in my life and not like them. Okay, and then guess what? That's not going to do them any good. Do you understand? So I'm not talking about getting rid of your kids or your husband, but you're going to have to hold the line. And you're going to have to stop attacking your children and your husband. And we all attack. Even with your looks, Lucy, watch out the way you look at your husband. At the table, when the kids are there, watch out the way you look at certain kids and what your kids do. And when they do certain things, don't look at them like that. Don't give them the evil eye. Don't give them the look. Don't give your husband the look anymore. You can still have a slight smile and show your feelings and talk and say, I don't think this is going to work. We have to figure out something else here. We got to stop. We got to start putting love in our hearts, guys. Okay, we got to learn to connect to our breath here. We can't keep doing this. Somebody's got to unconditionally love themselves because, you know what? Let me see, Lucy, if you can go through the next week without feeling hurt on an emotional or physical level. How about the next hour? Let's see if you can make it through. Let's see if you can make it through the next meal with your family without having a negative thought about one of the children or your husband. Okay? So just understand, if you do, then we know that you are so programmed for destruction. Okay? I think we've talked. What time is it, Yark?
1:50.
Okay, we got to go, Lucy. I hope you enjoyed this, or well, I don't know if you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Let's put it that way. Okay, because a lot of people don't really enjoy me, to be honest. Because guess what? Do you know what the hardest thing is for today than ever before? Is the truth. People are so used to the lie. And guess what? They cannot digest the truth. End of story. So, Lucy, I want to thank you for coming. I just want to see if there's any questions up on the board, and then I'm going to answer those. And Lucy, get started. And if you want, you can always check in with me, sweetie. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, love. Bye now. All right. Let me see. Denise, can I see the one, please? Put it back where it was. Okay. Booking flight today, should be there for July 28th. Need to get more information on how to board plane without the V. I'm coming by myself. Well, first of all, if you're coming July 28th, there is no V that you need to come here. So that's out. In the United States, you don't need the V. In Canada, it was the only country in the world that you couldn't fly without the V. So you don't need the V because the V is over on June the 20th. And just so you know, Nobody can force you to take the vaccination when you come. Let them give you an $8,000 ticket, and then I want you to get that framed and put it up on your wall, because they will not take you to court over that. It's not law. I'm telling you right now. Teddy, can an inguinal hernia be healed naturally? Absolutely. I just talked about that. I talked about, okay, did you tell Drake I wanted that played?
Yeah.
So I want it played in 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah, because then you're going to see Tom with the inguinal hernia, and tell him to get it up. Get it going. You'll see it on Facebook, everybody, and YouTube, and then we'll put it on Telegram and all the other places this afternoon, later, or tomorrow. Please, can we just go, can you start from the top, please, and then I'll go through and read them. Let me see here. I'm doing most of your protocols and am 78 years old and good health. Yeah, when you get that old, if you're in good health, that's great, but you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to cleanse properly. If you need to talk to me, Teddy, or get a perfect day consult, $150, lifetime support. You'll never get this anywhere else. Nobody offers this anywhere else in the world. Go to consultations on Doc of Detox page. Click on there. Lisa Marie, yes, totally agree. Next. Hi from Ireland. Hi, Margaret. We did that one. Keep going up, please. Please scroll. I'll let you know. I dropped my pendant. The top smashed off. Is it still effective? Look at this. I had to get a new clasp. Look at mine's broken. Whoa, no higher, please. So right here, I broke it. I'm going to add crazy glue to it. Yeah, you didn't damage it at all. Okay. Hi from Arkansas, Gail. Mary Stein, what brand of hair dye? No. Kim, what's happening in fall, October, November? Well, Kim, I'm going to tell you, I wish that I was, I'm not a psychic, but all we got to do, Kim, they already put it in the agenda. I mean, you can get the book. They've laid it all out. We got climate change, and we got the monkey thing, and they're going to put them both together, and then those people that already had the V aren't going to be able to fly because we've got a new thing going on. And climate change, you're going to have to probably be approved to actually go and travel because of the carbon thing, which is all a bunch of BS again. Are you serious? I mean, I say to myself, are people serious? Has anybody noticed what happened in the fall time the last 2 years? Okay, does anybody understand that this is all just a charade? Does anybody understand this? Well, you know, they can't think up anything except exaggerate things, and the majority is going to fall for it because people don't think. I already went through about what the subconscious works like. Everybody's so programmable until you do things like my whole life coach. You will not know how to process the difference between BS and truth. Okay, dysfunctional belief systems. I'm in Ground Zero, Toronto. Okay, can we go up further, please? Whoa, what's the difference between, frankincense and frankinzen? Okay, our frankincense oil is a very good essential oil. Frankinzen, there's only one person that makes this type of frankincense oil in the world. We've been waiting 2 years to buy this person's product because they only make so much. Our frankinzen comes in a little bottle, but it is beyond any frankincense that you're going to take. It's the purest, highest concentration, highest vibration. That's our frankinzen, okay? And it stands for Zen, okay, because it puts the body in Zen. And a lot of people use it in chronic conditions. If it's a lower body problem, they'll put 1 drop every hour, every 2 hours under their tongue, hold it. And then if it's an upper body problem, like the brain or something like that, they'll put a drop on their tongue, touch the roof of their mouth, okay? And they will do that once every hour, once every 2 hours. You can also use it and mix it with the DMSO or put it anywhere else in your body. But that's the main thing people use it for. Let me see, LOL, the Lions. In Toronto, that stay awake will be strong. Frequencies matter. Okay, very good. Keep going, please. Keep scrolling, please. Up, please. No, the other way. When I say up, I need it, that's up for me. Okay? Replying, keep going. Keep going, please. Keep going, please. It says that I was very clear in one of my one-a-days. I was, yes. Okay, can we go down a little bit, please? Whoa. No. I wasn't saying that it's going to happen at the Super Bowl, guys. I said the Super Bowl for their pandemic is kicking off, okay, September, October area. You'll see. Okay, next. Keep going. Keep going, please. Muriel, thanks for openly sharing your story, Dr. Wolf. We all love, thank you very much, Muriel. Thanks, Lucy. Yes, thank you, Lucy, for being so upfront. Okay, keep going, please. And what I'd like, can I say something to my team? Everybody, I need somebody to go through and read these and get them all prepared for when I'm done my show, that we can just go to them and they're all sitting there for me. From now on, there's 3 of you. It can be possible. Thank you. Tammy, my husband was born with a nickel-sized bald spot that gradually increased in size. He grew up. Any reason for this? I can't tell you for sure, but guess what? If your husband were to actually start clapping that area, I know you're not going to believe this, but if he were to clap that area for about 20 minutes on his scalp and the whole area around the scalp, and then really hit the bald spot, and then use what's called hair restore there as well, and maybe just a teeny bit of DMSO rose cream and some DMSO rose cream, and then use a little bit of hair restore, and just after he claps, then put that on the spot. You're going to see it probably hair come back. I'm going to tell you, I had a scar here. I went mountain climbing, and when I was up at about I was up at around 10,300 feet. I was coming along this narrow pass, and I had to jump on this ledge, and I actually got too close, and I cut myself right here, and I actually cut it right down to the bone. And they didn't have any suture up there. They used fish wire to put it together. And then when I went back down, they took that out. They put stitches in. I went back home, got to Canada, and then they didn't get all the stitches out after it healed. And a year and a half, 2 years later, the stitch showed, okay? But before then, I kept going to the doctors, and I go, I know there's something in there. And he kept taking a blade. I didn't have any hair here. Guys, I didn't have any hair. And then guess what? Between Avicen and clapping, look at it. It's filled right in. Okay? It's filled right in. All right? All right, so Aline, the medication causes rebound migraines as well. That's right. You have to understand something, that you got to wean yourself off of any migraine medicine, because I had to. But how I got rid of it was, don't go any higher, please, was the curcumin cayenne 5000, and I actually took one every hour. I actually took our mag infusion, and I put it in every drink I had to get the magnesium levels up. I actually clapped the back of my scalp, but the other thing I did was I actually took a plate, and I would put the plate up, standing up, and I would lay my head on the plate, and I would allow it to go in and open up my occipital. Look, if you go into my library and go to the do-it-yourself guide in there, go watch the videos, clapping, belly button. I show you how to do the plate. I show you how to do the pelvic squats, pelvic enhancer. I show you how to do it all, okay? Mertz, which one of your products help with sciatic pain? Curcumin cayenne 5000 and sciatica pain. If you go and see one of my Wolf non-surgical therapists, it'll take usually one treatment. They've got to go into the SI joint, which is on either side of your low back, and they're going to go in and work on both sides, but it'll take 1 hour. They're going to clean out the SI joint and watch if the sciatica pain doesn't go away, because it's actually displaced calcium and scar tissue that's choking off the nerve. They'll also go to the bottom of your buttocks where the nerve comes out, and they'll probably find a knot there, and they'll break that down too, because that nerve has to slide. There you go. Kelly, Black Diamond and Ultimate Coffee. No, it's actually black gold. Okay. Oh, and ultimate coffee enema, black diamond. Yes, you can put black diamond in your ultimate coffee enema instead of the black gold and tummy love. Yes, you do it right at the end, and you just put one stick in. You don't need more than that. Okay. Elena. Oh my God, my kids are 9 and 6. Okay. Margaret. On my right foot underneath, I have two cores on the middle right. Corns, I think she meant. What can I do? Well, okay, if you got a corn, what you do is you get the DMSO gel from us, and then what you do is you get DMSO gel, and then you can get the frankincense, or you could use Pain Away, and then you mix that with the DMSO gel. You put it on a Band-Aid, just a little bit, and you mix it as strong as you can with the essential oils, and the DMSO gel. It's got to be the gel, not the cream, because it's got to be stronger. Put that on a Band-Aid, and then just put enough that it's on the corn, and then wrap it tight at night. And after a few days, you see what happens. It'll probably look more like a water blister, or it might even fall off. Okay? Next. Do you always stay calm? You never get pitched high and pushy in your approach? Oh, I'm not going to tell you always. That's not true. I'm a human being. And do I get pushy in my approach? I think I'm already pushy in my approach. I think I'm pushy all the time in my approach, even if I'm soft-spoken. Because what would be pushy in my approach would be somebody who says his beliefs don't match mine. That's it. Okay, I need to be stroked. I don't like how he's to the point. I don't like how he's so abrupt. Listen, I could talk as soft as I want, and people are not going to like what I have to say. You know what? If you want to be liked, okay, then fit into the herd. If you want to break away from the herd, you might find yourself. Elena, if I claim my varicose veins, clap, will they disappear? Well, varicose veins are caused because of constipation. And that doesn't mean you didn't go to the washroom, but you've been pooping in your pelvis so long that the veins are getting full of toxic waste. That's the deal. So even in around your waistline, you've got all kinds of blocks, probably adhesions, who knows, fibroids, endometriosis, I really don't know. Maybe you've got 10 or 20 pounds of extra weight, okay? Can you go back up, please? Well, Muriel, I love when people tell us the truth, although it can be confronting. There you go. That's the only way we can learn. Grow and expand, absolutely, but guess what? People don't like the truth today. I have never seen, in the last 5 years, I've never seen such a big change where nobody wants the truth. Nobody can hear the truth. And I don't think that people are able to process it, and I think that it's actually just a survival mechanism. Okay? Hi, Dr. Wolf. I'm experiencing migraine aura. Can you please help? Oh, we just went through the whole migraine thing. Please, Rav, go check it out. Get a consultation, guys. $150. You got lifetime support from us. You get my Perfect Day manual. You get the audio sent to you. We build you a protocol from the minute you rise until you go to bed. Denise, are they COVID testing to fly into Mexico? No, they're not. There's no COVID test to come to Mexico. There's no vaccine coming into Mexico. There's nothing. Thank you. But I think you still have to wear a mask on the planes. Everybody, listen, nothing makes sense, but guess what? No COVID test, no vaccine, you got to wear a mask. Okay? Whoop-de-doo. Okay, Kim. Thank you, Dr. Wolf. Great. Susan, are you able to talk about insomnia? Well, insomnia is somebody who cannot stop their anxiety or stressing out all day long. Okay, so that's it. You are in fight or flight and you don't even know it. Okay, so people will go to bed, they're exhausted and they can't even sleep. You need to learn how to do clapping. You need to learn how to do belly button therapy. You need to hydrate better with structured water. You need to get on a whole plant-based diet. You need to do ultimate coffee enema, daily cleansing tea, black gold. I'm telling you, these are the keys. You know, it's all about circulation. It's all about calming down. Muriel, do you think fat necrosis? And yes, our sale is on. I don't know how many more days. We've got the biggest sale. We do this sale twice a year. That's it. Okay? And it is on for a few more days. Do you think fat necrosis, which is fat cells actually rotting. That's what necrosis is the cells have so much fat, no oxygen, not enough nutrition, and your tissues are actually rotting. If you could smell it, it would smell like death, okay? That I developed after my breast explant will disappear in time. No, you've got to actually clap. Go take a look at how to do clapping, and if you can go to a Wolf non-surgical therapist, well, you're just going to see miracles happen in the first treatment. And if you can come here and get Wolf non-surgical and get Cellsonic, you're going to see things disappear so fast before your eyes, because the scar tissue is creating the fat cells and the necroses, because the scar tissue cuts off the oxygen in the blood supply. So if you don't have oxygen in blood supply, then you're going to have rotting tissue. That's it. But do the clapping, and also use DMSO gel or cream, see which one you like, and then also use, if it's near the breast area, our orange essential oil, and mix that with it and put it right on the scar tissue area from the scars, and then clap the area that has necrosis. You'll see a difference. How do you recommend me to clap daily on my breasts? Any other tips? Well, why don't you go and watch the Clapping for Life, Clapping for Health videos in my clapping guide, okay? Denise, how to heal a boil? Well, a boil, where is it in your mouth? Where is it on your body? So maybe you want to type that in. But a boil is just liquid from the infection and the inflammation. And boil, you wouldn't have a boil if you weren't boiling on an emotional and physical level. Take a look at your bowels. Okay, take a look at your bowels. I don't know where the boil is. Maybe you can tell me. Helen, what to do on a boil? Okay, I'd have to see it. You want to send me a picture? Send me a picture to 250-801-5893 on my WhatsApp, and I'll take a look at it, and then I'll give you a call, and we'll just nail this thing. How's that? Helen, what to do to clear up spider veins? Spider veins are constipation. So if you started clapping with a clapper, and you started taking daily cleansing tea and black gold, and you got more on a whole plant-based diet, drank more water, and if it was hot, warm water, those veins will come down. But clapping is needed, and also I would use what's called Pain Away essential oil after you clap, and rub that on, and rub it on as often as you can, and try to clap that area, those spider veins. Try to clap it for at least 10 to 20 minutes every day, and you're going to see a difference, and you're going to, oh my God. Well, because all that is just a block. And don't worry, you're not going to get a blood clot on the move. That's not what happens. So get in there, get the circulation going. Buy yourself a clapper, go to our body care. And everything's on sale right now. Michelle, should I get a full blood analysis prior to having perfect day? No, we don't need that. My gosh, I haven't been to a doctor since I was, 17 years old to have a mole removed that I should have never had removed, by the way, okay? And understand something. I'm not telling you not to go to doctors. Go ahead if you think they need them, but unless I'm in an emergency, I'm not going, okay? Thank you very much. And understand, you go ahead and talk to us, and then tell us, you tell us if we're more intelligent than anybody else you've spoken to. Tracy, suggestions for a persistent cough. Well, dehydration is one of them. And the other one is lymph problems. People don't get that. You got lymph problems under here. Where's your lungs? Right here. You got lymph problems up in here, and here, and here. You're going to have coughing. And so what I would suggest is, again, do the daily cleansing tea, do the black gold in your blender drinks. Okay, I would also do the ultimate coffee enema. I would also be clapping my lungs, but I would also get a nebulizer, and in that nebulizer, I would put, if I had some liquid in here, it's dry. But if you saw this, I have it turned on. Hold on. 1 second. But you got to get a nebulizer. You can get this off of Amazon. Okay. Can you put some water in this? Because I don't have any silver here, but we'll just show them. So if you get yourself a nebulizer, and you start nebulizing Super Silver and Bright Eyes Nanofolic 50/50. Just a tad. There you go. Good. Oh, that's lots. Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't be silly. It's all right, bud. Okay. Okay, so what you're gonna do, see here, look. See it? Okay, 1 second. There, you can see it come out, okay? So what it's gonna do is, I've got this, turn this off. Can you turn that fan off? Mm-hmm. Just so they can see it. Okay, see? Take a look. All right, so if you're nebulizing our super silver and our nanofulvic, and you're taking that into your sinuses, that's going into your lungs. And understand something, when you're coughing, that's because you're trying to get rid of mucus. Why are you trying to get rid of mucus? Because you have inflammation. When you have inflammation in your lungs, you make more mucus. Why do you have inflammation in your lungs? Because you've got infection in your lungs. Why do you have infection in your lungs? Well, you've backed up your lymph system. How'd you do that? Well, you backed up your bowels, or you were a smoker, or you're eating things that are irritating to you. But that's it, really. So that's where you want to start, okay? And you can also nebulize infinite iodine. Okay, we've had people that have very severe lung problems. You know how severe? Like really severe, like life-threatening. And they will take 1 part infinite iodine, and they will take 3 parts of structured water or distilled water, and they'll nebulize that and then breathe that in, and they'll also do the silver and the fulvic 50-50 split, the Bright Eyes fulvic and the silver bullet liquid 50-50 split. Wait till you see what happens. At the beginning, you might only be able to do 1 little breath in and you're like, right? And that's because this is going to change the environment. Remember something, the environment dictates what lives there, buddy, everybody. You need to know that. Like the environment dictates who lives in your house too, eh? And what they're going to act like. But understand something. It's all about getting rid of infection, to get rid of the inflammation, to get rid of the mucus that's being created, to try to protect the alveoli in your lungs. And that's the same thing in your intestines or anywhere else. Okay? That's why you get the boogers out of your nose, out of your ears, okay? Coughing it up, or coming out of your vagina, or coming out of your rectum. It's all excess mucus from inflammation from infection, okay? Muriel, what can you recommend on skin? Mainly legs. That starts to wrinkle. I'm planning to do a gallbladder liver cleanse, since I believe my liver needs. Yeah, well, gallbladder cleanse is going to be helpful, but doing the ultimate coffee enema is the key. Also, if you do, take a look in my book, Healthy to 100, and you can get the PDF free. It's in Spanish or it's in English. In my library, if you go to docofdetox.com, or you can buy the book for $15. And if you look in the skin, beautiful skin section, you're going to see the Epsom salt glow. Do an Epsom salt glow, okay, or an Epsom salt cocoa glow every day, okay, and then rub C60 coconut oil on your skin, and also clap your skin, and I guarantee you'll have the most beautiful skin as if you were 17 years old again. Listen, I've got people that come here. They'll come here for like people that are, we have a lot of people that have a symptom called cancer, okay? And they will come here from 6 weeks to 3 months. Their skin from radiation and chemotherapy looks like old chicken skin. And when they leave, they have beautiful skin. You can't even see the wrinkles. I'm not making this up. And that's from doing sand salt glows at the beach. And they go every day. Okay, but if you're not living near a beach and it's not salt water, then you would do what we called a cocoa salt glow or an Epsom salt glow. Go take a look in my book, okay? All right, Healthy to 100. All right. Okay, Trish, will there ever be a way to offer non-surgical training online? I would be diluting it, but I'll tell you what we are doing. We are starting this up in about 2 months. So let's say, okay, hi, my wife, they say that she needs knee surgery. She doesn't want to go. What can we do? She can't come to you. She won't come to you. Okay, then we'll take, we can do a 2-hour training, sir, and we'll show you what you can do to her knee. We'll show you how to do some non-surgical techniques, how to do some one-shot therapy, how to clap her knee, what to put on her knee, what she can take internally, and then we will give you guidance after that. And that's what we're doing. So it is one-on-one, online Zoom training, and we will show you any part of the body, how you can go and help yourself or help a family member. That's coming out. Okay, Trisha. Oh, I already did that. Keep going. Keep going. Well, inner infection, please go down. Inner ear infection causing vertigo. Please go to my do-it-yourself guide in my library and take a look at Ear Restore. I have a video there, and I show how to do it. Okay, but what I'll do is sometime, let me think here. I want to try to do a sinus thing and an ear restore thing, and I might try to do that as a one-a-day this week, okay? Whew. Okay. Keep going. Great information, thank you. Yes, clap. C60 oil, skin brush, need to add salt. Good. Salt glow. Yes, do it. Awesome, thank you. Okay, yes. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be on at 1 o'clock to do another Q&A because we have this big sale on and we're trying to answer questions for people about products and everything else.
This is last.
What?
This is last questions.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, and but I'll be here at 5 o'clock on Thursday Central Time to answer all your questions about treatments, trainings, certifications, courses, personal treatment and trainings where we'll come to your family and we'll teach your whole family. We'll teach a couple. We'll come and certify a clinic. We'll certify even just a practitioner. If you don't want to come to us, we'll come to you. We'll be talking about all of that. Hi, what emotional issues cause femoral hernia? And if you have mesh, should you get it removed? I'm going to tell you something. First of all, let me just say this. Crisscross. You can't usually get rid of mesh. You know, okay, do you know how they put rebar and then they pour the cement and the rebar's in the cement? Try to see if you can get the rebar out of the cement, okay? Because now you've got like a huge block of scar tissue. Do you think that mesh isn't irritating? It's irritating, inflaming. You're gonna make so much scar tissue there. That's why people will usually tear out and get another hernia, or they'll get a fibroid or a tumor, okay, grow just beside where the mesh is. Because guess what? Do you ever have a sliver? How does that feel? Well, guess what? Now you've got a big piece of mesh in there. Okay, so do you think that doesn't irritate? So then you build up all the scar tissue around it. That creates a block, which is not great because now the cells around it have this dam and they're being dammed off from oxygen and nutrition. And so that's where you get the low oxygen levels and even mutation. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it could. And as far as emotional issues, well, let's look where it is. Okay, look where it is. So it's could be sexual, could be I'm not a great lover, could be, I don't know. I really have never said this before, so I could be making this up, but I know the areas of the body that hold certain things. But, you know, leave that with me because maybe I'll find out from somebody who knows better than me because I don't want to lead you on, I don't lead you astray. Hi, Dr. Wolf, how to get rid of skin mold. Well, first of all, skin mold is actually coming from internal. So you better look at your large intestine and do the daily cleansing tea, the black gold, and then do the ultimate coffee enema. That's for dang sure. And then what else you can do, if you want to get rid of the skin mold, is you're going to, I would be using DMSO gel. You don't have to use a lot, okay? I would mix that with C60 coconut oil. And I would also mix that with oregano, okay? And I would mix that and I would put that right on the area. And before I did it, I would clap it, okay? I would clap right on it and around it, okay? Anna, oh no. Okay, all right, we gotta go, guys. I'm 18 minutes late. I have a consultation I have to do overseas, but thank you everybody for joining me. And I will be going through, like I said, there's some more questions here about personal treatment and trainings. People are asking yes, we will go overseas. We've been everywhere. We've been to India, we've been to Japan, we've been to Greece, we've been to Italy, we've been all over South America, we've been all over the United States. We send master trainers around the world to teach families, like I said, teach couples, to teach caretakers how to look after their patient properly, the way we do things with non-surgical diet, internal, external therapies. Yes, we travel all over the world. I'll be talking more about that on Thursday night at 5 o'clock Central Time. Okay? Thanks everybody for joining me. And just know this, 3, 2, 1, you got this, Bravehearts. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and we're just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, But then I want you to dive right in because
How I found my brave heart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you.